Welcome, super smarties. Let the learning begin. So it's a weekend. Let's do a temperature check. The goal is to be regulated and ready to learn and functioning optimally in the green zone. If you're in one of the other zones, you're going to want to utilize a Mindshift to help you regulate. And even if you're in the green zone, a really good idea is to use a Mindshift so that you can get yourself calm, focused, and self-aware. So the Mindshift we're going to use today is using a squishy ball. Now I use this in my classroom to simulate the brain because it kind of has the texture of a brain. Doesn't look like a brain, I hope not. But it kind of has the feel of what a gushy, squishy brain would feel like if you took the matter out from below the skull. So what we're going to do is we're just going to squeeze and release as we inhale and exhale, and we're going to focus on doing it 3 times. Now, you don't actually have to use an object. What you could do is just use your hands and squeeze them together like a squishy ball. I should have told you that before I did it in front of you. Sorry. I'll remember next time. All right, let's review our high frequency words. So we're going to come over to our smart board. Sight words are the ones that you cannot spell. So you have to do what? Take a picture so that you remember any information that isn't easily retrieved by common sense is something that you need to make sure that you take a picture of so that you can retrieve it upon demand. That's true in math and in science, language arts. That's true in life. And remember, the taking a picture part is using your eyes. I have 4. You only probably have 2. Sorry. Actually, not sorry. Sorry for me, not you. But your eyes are making a mental image of what it is that they see. So when you turn away from it, it still lives in your brain and can easily be projected on your eyelids. Now, sometimes people are not what's called visual learners. So even when they look at the information, it's what is called eludes them. It just kind of slips away and they can't really hang on to that. In which case, you're going to use some other mnemonics, such as auditory. You're going to listen to the sounds, and you can also use sign language. Sign language lets it be kinesthetic, so that information is information you can touch. So you literally can hold it in your hand. While you're holding it in your brain, you can hold it in your hand. So in my room, we use a whole lot of sign language just because it gives you one more mnemonic to anchor back to. So let's just read our words, because the more we read, the more likely we are to remember. And once we remember, we'll have it in automaticity. We'll know it fast as a snap, fast as a clap, fast as a blink. That's how fast that I can think. The, we, see, can, like, I, and, it, my, to, is. What I want you to do is stretch out the learning and get some traction action. So make flashcards out of these, and then also make cards where you keep the letters separated and you cut them apart. Vowels can be written in red, consonants in black, or you can use any other color that you want, but make sure that you use one color for vowels, one color for consonants, so your brain starts making the association between which letters are the vowels, which are the consonants. Remember, the vowels are kind of like glue. They hold all the words together. And practice. So if you make multiple copies and you turn them over, or if you play like go fish, do you have any thes? Yes, I do. And then you hand the. Do you have any likes? Yes, I do. Then make simple sentences with these words in it and cut them apart, put them back together. Because the more you manipulate the information and you use it in a lot of different ways, the easier it is for your brain to just remember that information. Inside remember, we're trying to make neural connections. So when you tamp a path between two neurons and then you use that information a lot of different ways, it myelinates the path. It gets it slippery so that the information can be passed really quickly, kind of like hot potato. Your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn. All right, let's change up the day of the week. Now, this month we have Cinco de Mayo, which is the 5th of May, and we have May 4th. May the 4th be with you. That's from Star Wars. Unless you're not a fan, then I don't need to know that you're not a fan because I'm kind of a fan. Yeah, so. But this is not the 4th and this is not the 5th. This is the 2nd day of the month. So, uno, dos. So this is dos de mayo. Dos de mayo. It's somebody's celebration day. Hopefully it's not your birthday, or people will be going by with signs hanging out their window in their car and waving at you and not jumping in your bounce house or eating your food or making your yard messy. I miss birthdays. I miss birthday parties. They're so fun. Bring back the fun. Coronavirus. It's the enemy of fun. All right, so today is 5-2. Loop around to the left, at a left angle come down. Loop around to the right, at a left angle come down. A line right across the bottom will do. That makes 2. 5-2-20. We need a face space. Lace the face space with big bug eyes. Yesterday was, and we can move up the information from yesterday. I'm going to check my smart card. Friday, capital Friday. Just punctuation is going to be a period. And we can't have 2 Fridays. It can't be Friday today and Friday yesterday. So today is one more day than Friday. So if we follow the cycle down, Friday, Saturday. Remember, you want to chunk words because the more you chunk them and you put them into smaller parts, the easier it is for your brain to remember those smaller parts and push them back together. Saturday. And here it is too. Capital S-A-T-U-R, of turkey, D-A-Y. And then there's a period. And then let's erase the Saturday. Tomorrow will be, if Saturday is the last day of the week, we then have to roll all the way back to the first day of the week, which is, can you hear it in your head? Sunday is the first day of the week. And here's Sunday. Capital S-U-N-D-A-Y. Then there's a period, and it's a compound word. Sunday. Today is Saturday. S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. Saturday, comma. Whew, not a lot of space between those words. May 2nd, 2020. All right, now we have a little bit of open space here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be thinking about math again. So we want to math it up. So in this space, what I want to do is I want to write an equation. I want you to remember you have to have your composition book. You should be transferring this information. We are like near the middle or getting close to the end of our composition book. So you can use the front page and the back page because on these books, the paper is very thick so it doesn't bleed through. If you're using a pencil, if you use a marker, it may bleed through. So what we're going to do is equations. So I'm going to show this structure. It's a what? Number one. And then I'm going to put this many here, and I'm going to put this many here. And what I want you to do is think of all the ways to their total. So I have this many on one side, I'm going to do it like dice. And I have this many on the other side. So if I'm putting them together, am I doing addition or am I doing subtraction? Putting together 3 and 2. Putting together. It's addition. So 3 and 2 more, and I can count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could also do touch math. 1, 2, 3. I call it dot math sometimes, but it's actually touch math. And a 2. I can count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 32, but it's a 3 and a 2. So let me put a comma. So I know that this is going to be a 5. Cross left and down, loop right around. That is how we jive when we make a 5. We could also use our fingers. 2, 3 fingers, and 2 more equals 5. So this is 5. This is 5. This is 5. I could also do a 5's frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I could do 3 and 2 more. And that makes 5. And I could make the equation. 3 and plus 2 equals 5. That's horizontal side to side. If I put it vertical, I'd have a 3 with a 2 under it, the plus sign to the left of the 2. A single line across is the equal sign when you do it vertically, and then a 5 at the bottom. Can you think of any other ways that I could make 5? I could do 5 objects, so I could do 1, 2, 3 kitties, and I could do 1, 2 dogs. And if I put them together, I would have 5 in all. Can you think of any other ways? What about tallies? 1, 2, 3, 4. In tallies, only 4 go up and down, then 1 goes across, and you don't make any more. Up and down, make 1 across, and then no more. Everybody jive, look alive. A set of tallies is made of 5. I could also do a number line. And I'm going to start with 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. So there are a lot of ways to when you're trying to make a number. So what I want you to think about this week, today, and this week is almost over. The next week, the week that's coming, as you start May, okay, how about this month, the month of May, is start making ways to charts. Now, one of the things you might want to do is get a bigger piece of paper, but you could also do it in your composition book. Put a number either in the middle or at the top. You could print it out. Then try and think of all the ways that you could make that number. There are many more ways that we haven't included here. But think about all the ways. This is the number 5, so we could also write it with letters. F-I-V-E. Try doing all the digits from 0 to 9, the single digits that all the numbers are composed of. And then you could actually even go higher. If you went all the way to 20, what this does is help your brain become flexible because you're thinking of all the ways that you could construct something. All right, let's read it. Yesterday was Friday. That's in the past. Today is Saturday. That's in the present. It's with us. Tomorrow will be Sunday. That's in the future. It's ahead of us. Today is Saturday, May 2nd, 2020. Or we could just use numbers. 5-2-20. And these are ways to. It's a ways to chart. I'm going to take this away, make sure that you captured it, transfer it into your handy dandy notebook or composition book. And remember, our growth mindset quote is, the key to mastery is effort. Effort, effort, effort. Make as much effort as you possibly can. All right. Let's go on a field trip. Climb on the bus. Time to build up schema. Honk, honk. Beep, beep. Now, this one would kind of have a crossover into science. So if you look closely at my board, my question is, which holds more or less? So what we're looking at here is what's called volume. So this is going to have a transfer over into science. And you might use this kind of science in your household, like when you're cooking, when you're filling something up, when you're putting books away on a bookshelf, when you're putting your toys away in your house, when you're putting your clothes away in your closet. Which holds more and what holds less? So here is, and we're going to work all completely off of pictures with this. Here is a carton of juice, like what you would see at school. Even if you don't drink it, you probably see other friends with a little carton of juice. Or they could have a carton of milk. I made mine juice. This is the kind of big half-gallon or gallon container that you would have. Sometimes they're narrow and sometimes they're wide, that you would have of milk in your house. So if I said, which holds more liquid? Which one would you say holds more liquid? The one on the right or the one on the left? More, which means we could pour and pour and pour. If we poured into one of them, it would start to spill over, but the other one would be able to capture all of that liquid. Which one? Yeah, the one on the right. Why would it hold more? Defend your answer. Because it's bigger. It's a bigger container. So something that's bigger holds more, which means by default, that means this is what's bigger, which means this is what's smaller. If this holds more, then that one has to hold less. Now let's say you were going to have a bowl of soup. So here is what's kind of called a tureen, like it's super big. It's what all the soup would be poured into, and then everyone would ladle some soup into their bowl out of this big one. So which one would hold more? The tureen or the bowl that you have at your table? The one on the left or the one on the right? The one on the left. Because it's bigger, it holds more, which means the one on the right would hold less. Let's look down here. Now here are two boxes. One you could fit in your cupboard or up on a shelf, and it holds the cereal that you might eat for breakfast or for a snack. The other one would come on your doorstep when someone in your house orders from Amazon. This is a Prime box with the smile. Well, it's a grin. They call it a smile, but it's actually a grin. There's no teeth. Grin, smile. Grin, smile. Learn something new every day. Now you learn something new. Day can be done. Just kidding. All right, so which one would hold more? It could be cereal or it could be something else. Which box would hold more and which one would hold less? The one on the left or the one on the right? Which holds more? The one on the right, because it's bigger. The bigger box holds more. Now these are trash cans. This is what's called a step stool that you might keep in your bathroom or your bedroom. This is called a trash receptacle, and it would stay outside. It's so stinky. Now a lot of neighborhoods now use the really, really big trash cans that you can wheel out to the street. They don't use these cans anymore, but you might still see them. And they might be used for other things. We use ours at my house for recycling, not for trash. Trash that's worth money. So which one would hold more trash? The receptacle on the right or the receptacle on the left? Remember, this is called a step canister, because usually you have a little, so you don't have to touch it with your hands because it's yucky to touch a trash can. You can step down on this and then the lid pops up open. So which one? The one on the left or the one on the right? The one on the left, because it's bigger. Something that is bigger can hold more. Now let's look at this. This is a baby sippy cup, and this is a grown-up's glass with some water. Or it could be soda. It looks like it could be soda. It has ice in the little bubbles. Would not want to give that to a baby. It's super bad for a baby to give them soda. No soda for babies. Probably you shouldn't drink soda either. Okay, it's carbonated water. That's okay. Still don't give that to a baby. Get gassy tummy. So which one holds more? The one on the left or the one on the right? The one on the left, because it's bigger. So if this one holds more, the sippy cup holds less because it's smaller. Oh, whew, we need one of these now. We don't have one at our house. I wish we did. This is a what? There's a diving board. This is simulating water. This is a swimming pool. A big swimming pool. It has to be really big if you have a diving board, and it has to be very deep because you could get hurt when you dive in. You'd hit the bottom. It could hurt your brain, and then how it'll hurt your whole body. This is a little blow-up pool that you could buy, say, at Walmart or Target or on Amazon, and you get it in your grin box, which is, they call it a smile box, but it's really a grin. Makes mistakes, not just me. I guess everybody does, even businesses. All right, so which one holds more water? Which one could have more people in it? The one on the left or the one on the right? The one on the left. It's bigger, and things that are bigger hold more. So all of the pictures that we didn't circle in red will underline with green because they hold less. This is smaller, so it holds less. This is smaller, so it holds less. This is smaller, so it holds less. The sippy cup is smaller, so it holds less. The cereal box is smaller, so it holds less. And the juice container holds less. And the ones that are red hold more. That was super awesome. I had fun sharing that with you. Now, what I want you to do is, this week when you are in your kitchen, look for things that hold more and things that hold less. When you are outside playing in your yard, think about things that hold more and things that hold less, and try and use that language. One of the things that you could do is you could take different size containers and try filling them up. Maybe with rocks outside in the yard, or maybe if you're allowed to, if you're given permission to dig in the dirt, put some dirt in it. Maybe grass clippings, maybe your toys. Maybe you'll just put blocks in one and blocks in another and see which one holds more and which one holds less. That will stretch out the learning and give you some traction action. All right. Okay, Smarties, till we meet again. Goodbye, Super Smarties. Come back ready to learn. I'll see you next week. Bye. Here's some pride. Put it inside. Some schema. You have it all. And some love. That's for later. Super teacher.